Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. 2018 is in the books and we finished the year pretty strong, but I'm probably going to ramble on quite a bit in this video, so just feel free to fast forward or kind of skip through if you'd like. But my wife and I have been married for about 6 months. Both of us are 24 years old currently. We have almost the same birthday actually, so we're exactly the same age. We went to school together. Both of us are working full time. She has graduated with her degree. I've graduated with one of my degrees. She is wrapping up her master's degree currently, and then I am wrapping up another bachelor's degree in business at the moment. So both of us just taking online classes. We are both working. So she is a professor for a university, and then I work for a pharmaceutical company in the quality assurance department. So things are going good. For 24, I feel like we're doing really, really well. I came a long way over the past 6 years now that I've been tracking net worth, and yeah, I'll take you along for the ride here. So, as of 2018, the average household income in my area is probably about 55,000, somewhere around there, maybe 56,000. The U.S. it's about 60,000, so we're still in my area maybe $5,000 annually below the U.S. Average household income. House prices are probably average is 180 to 200, I would say, is like an average size house. That would be like a 3 bedroom, 1 bathroom, 1,500 square foot. So nothing too crazy. Average for US is like 300,000, 330,000 right now. So we're quite a bit below. So, as it's always been for the past few years, cost of living is quite a bit cheaper here, but you just also don't make nearly as much money. And so I live in an area that maybe has 100, 150,000 people. If I go down south, maybe there's 15 to 20,000 people that live in that town. If I go west, there's probably 5,000 people that live in that town. So if I go south or west of me, prices get super cheap. You can find houses for maybe 100,000, 110,000, sometimes even 50 to 60,000 nowadays. Um, Unfortunately, though, as you go south or west or leave the area that I'm in, the further you go, the more drugs and issues and that you'll have to deal with. You can't find rental properties in the areas that rent for more than like $500 or $600 a month. So you spend all this work getting a rental, you rent it for $400 a month. The people are dealing drugs out of your house, and so it just makes it not worth it. Rents in my area are probably 800 to 900 a month for a 3 bedroom house, so fairly affordable. Definitely cheaper than California or New York, a place like that. But yeah, that's a little bit about us. Jumping into income for December though. Ended up setting all kinds of records. I probably worked maybe 90 hours per week for the whole month of December. I'm still on third shift as well, which is absolutely just killing me. Whatever I've done, I cannot sleep during the day. I can't do it. There's Even if it's like perfectly silent, blackout curtains, something will happen where like we get an Amazon package and they ring the doorbell, and then I'm up. My neighbor will be mowing the grass. A woodpecker will land on the chimney and peck the chimney, and then it wakes me up. So it's just, I don't know, I can't do it. I've tried sleeping in the basement, but that's probably for 2019 going to be top of my priority list, is just to get off third shift. I feel horrible. Just I'm tired all the time. A little bit cranky sometimes just from not sleeping. I would say very normal for me to go sometimes like 36 to 40 hours without having slept. So almost staying awake for 2 days in a row. And at that point, like when we closed on our house in like April or May, when I went to the closing, I had been awake for almost 40 hours straight, and so I could hardly even sign my name on the closing paperwork, and it's just a mess. So I feel like third shift for some people that I work with, third shift is amazing, and they can sleep during the day, and it's no problem for them. They're in a routine, like they're healthy. For me, it just doesn't work for me. So that'll probably be my first goal for 2019. Even if I have to take somewhat of a pay decrease, I'll probably take that just to feel a little bit better. But Speaking of income, though, I need to put 2000 December 18's income in here. So I made $12,341.43. Absolutely killed it and ended the year with $85,000 in gross income. I'm going to finish populating this and I'll kind of reflect back here. So taxes, $2,405 in taxes, 401k, 2,673.15. So I actually over contributed to my 401k some. Take home pay, $6,812.29. Um, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm thrilled with how I did for December. I don't know if it's realistic for me to keep working 90 hours a week while going through school, but set basically a record in every single category this month. Just looking back a few years, 2012 is at $5,000 a year. So in 2 weeks, I made what I made in a whole year 6 years ago. Oh, well, maybe not quite a whole year, 7 months, but basically, I mean, it's crazy. 2013, again, in this whole year of working, I made 12,300, and this whole year I made 17,000. So things are happening a lot faster. I'm saving the money a lot faster. 2014 I was at 39,000, then 37,000, 36,000, kept dropping. And then last year I changed employers and then worked for my old company, which ended at 43,000. And then this year, yeah, what I've done is much better. So I'm currently hourly. My pays are like around $24 an hour, which would be about 50,000 a year. So I have made $35,000 this year in just working overtime, which it's about what I did back in 2015. Nope, 2014 as well. I made about $13 an hour, but so I'm making over double what I made back then, and almost double what I made last year in gross income. So yeah, I feel like I found it. What would be nice though is if I could make the same amount and then not work 80 to 90 hours a week. If I work 40 hours a week next year for the whole year, I'll probably make just over 50,000, maybe 60,000. So I'm also probably pretty close. I'm a level 2 right now, which is hourly. And if I move to level 3, that will be salary. So I don't know. Usually it takes 2 to 3 years of working at this company to move to from 2 to 3. So I might be eligible within sometime in 2019 to move up, but I'll need to see if they offer me like a super low amount. If they offer me like 55,000 to move to level 3, I'll probably just stay a level 2, keep cranking out overtime, and I'll make more than a level 3 or even level 4 probably. But yeah, I mean, 2018 was phenomenal. One of my goals last year was to max out my 401k, which was for 2018 was 18,500. So 7,000, or sorry, $77 of this I actually over contributed to my 401k, which I'm not sure how that will look on taxes. I'll probably just have to pay the taxes on that $77. So I don't think it's too concerning. Jumping over to my wife here, she actually did phenomenally as well this year too. So she was at 30,000 last year and then made 37,000. So that's a 20% pay increase from last year for her. I'll say our jobs between mine and my wife's is significantly different. So my job I'll say, is more stressful. A lot higher stakes. People are stressed out quite a bit. At her job, people are very calm. Like it's a very good place to work. Like easy work, good work-life balance. Never have to work overtime. Never have to work weekends. Like just wouldn't happen. And I mean, yeah. So the thing with hers is, uh, you have to have your bachelor's degree to be in her group to even work there. Second, they don't pay a ton. They're not paying 50 to 60,000 a year, but the benefits are insane. So she gets a what's it called? A 10% 401k match, I guess, for her 403b, which is awesome. So they contributed $3,700 to her 401k this year. And then they also give her $2,600 a year into her HSA. So a couple other goals that we had. So one was to max out my 401k this year. Second was to max out her 401k and her HSA, which we didn't quite do. We were a little bit short on her 403b, but that's okay. I don't feel like that's a huge deal. We still put 30 $5,000 towards retirement this year. We did max out for our HSA though. It was $4,000. We were 4 cents short, but that's just part of it. So I basically maxed out her goodness, her HSA account. So many accounts here. So yeah, I mean, I feel like it went really well. Looking back, so my goals for 2018 over the past year was to work crazy amounts of overtime, which I mean, I feel like I accomplished that goal with making $35,000 extra. I wanted to sell house number 3, which I did here in July and made about $78,000 doing that. I wanted to buy another house, which I did in May, the house we live in now, house number 4. And then I wanted to max the 401ks and HSA accounts, which check, we did that. And then 5th was finish school. So I did not get school finished, which I'm probably in my last semester right now. I'm cranking through classes like crazy right now. So I have a feeling I'll be finished for sure before like May of 2019. But just looking back on a couple things. Gross income for the year was $205,000. Holy cow. A lot of that, though, I mean, a lot of that is coming from our, sell 78,000 came from selling the house number 3. Our take-home pay was 143,000, and so in our lifetime, we've made just over $500,000 in gross income, and then taken home about 417,000. So total taxes that we've paid are almost 75,000 that we've paid in taxes here. And then it looks like I've put 22,000 in my 401k and she's put 15,000 in her 401k. That doesn't include employer matches. And then I've made about 2.5 times as much as she has, and then I've taken home about 3 times as much as she has. So this last year, I mean, if you look at this, she made 37,000 in gross income, only took home 13,000 of it. So most of the money that my wife is making is just going to retirement accounts, and she's fine with that. Honestly, I think it would be really cool if I could have a month where, like, if she made $5,000 and then I was able to put all of that towards retirement somehow, and she would bring home 0, we would probably do that. So I'll see if there is a way. I don't know if we can over contribute to our 403bs and HSAs, but yeah. So last topic here before I jump into a net worth, rental income. I sold off house number 2 back in September 2017, which was probably 30 minutes to the west of where I live. Have not purchased anything since then. The market this past year is just, I don't know. Like when I bought house number 2 for 60,000, it was, I mean, awesome rate of return. I could make $16,000 a month, or sorry, $1,600 per month off of that house. And I mean, that's awesome. That's like 30, 45% cash on cash return. So my line in the sand that I'm not willing to cross is 15% cash on cash return. So maybe in a future video, if I find a house that's fairly close, maybe I'll add a tab down here at the bottom and kind of, go over how I analyze a house and, what my criteria actually is. So the main criteria I look for is cash on cash return. If I spend if I spend $100,000 on a house and pay cash for it, I want to profit $15,000 a year. So that could be, maybe the house is listed for 100,000. I put $20,000 down, and then I would need to make 15% of 20,000. I can't do that math in my head. $3,000 a year profit, I guess, would be a 15% cash on cash return, which doesn't seem like a lot, but once you buy the house, you pay your mortgage payment, you pay the taxes on it, you pay the insurance on it, you pay the utilities like trash, whatever, water, you pay repairs and maintenance, all of that stuff. By the end of it, I mean, you're not really left with a ton, maybe $200 or $300 a month in cash flow, and then you pay your mortgage down and get the appreciation as well. But I'm talking cash flow. So I would need like $300 a month roughly to get a 15% cash on cash return on a $100,000 house, which you'd think would be easy to find, but it is, it's definitely not for some reason. Jumping into our net worth here. Sorry, I'm all the way back in 2012. Let's get caught up here. So now here we go, 2018. So I'm a little bit behind here. I should have done this before, but let me see here if I can fix this. I don't think I can. So for December 2018, there we go. Sorry, apologies for just 1 second here while I fix all of this. All right. So, house number 4, Zillow is telling me is currently at 289,789, and 2015 truck pretty much has stayed the same in value. It's at 27,306, and then 8616 on my wife's car. So I'm gonna kind of look back here and see, can I get all of this in one screen here? No, not quite. Okay, so here's where we were last year. So December 2017, we did not have house number 4. I've deleted some, not deleted, I've hid some columns here just to make it more visually appealing. But house number 4, just in like 8 months roughly, has went from 245 to 289. So, I mean, that is like a 20% increase in house prices. And I feel like that's fairly conservative too, with most of the houses like around 300,000 in my neighborhood being listed at right now. And I'm also doing quite a bit of work to house number 4 too. They had it listed at 265, which probably could have been at 270 if they would have had things updated. So the things that killed my house were it had purple shag carpet in the dining rooms, it had green tile floors in the kitchen, wallpaper in every room, the bathrooms were outdated, had white carpet in the upstairs bathroom. Just really, really weird stuff. It was an older couple that lived there, and they kind of liked the Victorian design, and nobody else really liked it. It looked super outdated, even though the house was only 20 years old. It looks like it was designed in like the 1940s. But structurally, it's over a poured concrete foundation with a walkout basement. So it's one single foundation. So I don't have to worry about walls caving in the basement or anything. It has reinforced with rebar, walkout sliding door in the basement, has a full bathroom in the basement, has like a surround sound speakers down there, and then the other side I have is like a gym, weightlifting set and stuff. Then upstairs has like 2 living rooms, a dining room, and a kitchen. And then the upstairs, the 3rd floor, has 4 bedrooms and then 2 bathrooms up there. And then there's a half bathroom on the middle level as well. So like structurally, the house is awesome. Like probably the best layout design that they could have picked. But then just cosmetically, it's bad. When I first moved in, there was a dead tree out front that I had to get cut up, and just yeah, a lot to it. So I feel like the house was probably worth 260 to 265 if it wouldn't have had all the design issues, which I fixed some of those now. Like I'm putting new hardwood floors down. I've got a couple rooms done on the mid-level. I'm taking down wallpaper, painting walls. So I feel like maybe I've added 10,000 in value from what I've done to the house. And then if it was worth 250 or 260, it's probably 270. And so it's at 290. So maybe 20,000 of that's appreciation, where it's like a 10% versus a 20%. So housing prices in my area are for sure going up, but I don't think 20%. It seems like people are just buying anything that they can get their hands on and not even really looking at the price, which seems crazy. Um, but still, house number 4 has been really good, especially for a house for us to just live in. And it's a nice house too. If the average house in my area is 180 to 200, we're at 290. So it's, quite a bit better than the average house in the area, which is nice. It's in a really good neighborhood too. The neighborhood has HOA. I can't remember what that stands for, but it's like $10 a month or something, $120 a year. So it keeps the lights on, and they have, sidewalks, and it keeps the neighborhood nice and keeps everybody in check. So I really don't mind the HSA at all. And I think it's pretty affordable as well. But in December, yeah, so I had 257,000 in total property, and now I'm at 325. So I've added about $75,000 in property. Definitely lost on the vehicles. Looks like I lost $5,000 on my 2015 truck, and then my wife's cars went down about $1,000 there too. Jumping over to investments. So I have closed those 2 accounts out in November here, and then our HSA account is at 6920. So the market really, really went down towards the end of December. I thought I may break 300,000. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to, with the way that the market was. If it would have went up 1%, I probably would have made it, but it went down probably 1 or 2% instead. So kind of killed me towards the end of the year here. My 401k is at 29,521. So you can see I've lost, well, I lost 2,000 from last month, but I actually put in 2,600. So I actually lost $5,000 in my 401k this month, plus the employer match. So maybe even $5,500. So the market was really, really down for my 401k, which is pretty much all growth stocks. It's still FGCKX, Fidelity Growth Co-K, 100% into that mutual fund. And I kind of look at it like from our overall portfolio, our HSA is invested in like S&P 500 and then a small cap index fund. My 401k is 100% in FGCKX with Fidelity Growth Company. So it's just 100% growth stocks. Large cap growth stocks too. It's like Google, Apple, Microsoft, companies like that. My wife's 403b, which just I don't know if I've ever explained this. A 403b is essentially the exact same thing as a 401k. The only difference is it's like for an educational company or maybe even a non-for-profit. Don't quote me on the non-for-profit, but it essentially functions the exact same way as a 401k does. It's just a different line in the tax code. So her 403b is at 26,330. So hers actually went up. Hers is a little bit of S&P 500 and then three different sector funds, like semiconductor, technology, and then I forget this last one. Retailer. Goodness, I do that every time. Retailer are the three sector funds. So it's like 30, 30, 30, and then 10% S&P 500 are the how it's split up. So a couple of those did really, really well this month. So hers ended out the year pretty strong and actually barely kept us we were at 62,744 last month, and now we're at 62,771. So we were still in the green a little bit in December, even though everything went down a ton, especially mine. Her and my retirements they're always neck and neck, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I'm always just a little bit ahead of hers, but hers seems to be growing a lot faster than what mine is. So we'll see. I don't know if she'll ever pass me. If she got like a double pay increase, that 10% match would probably, let her move past me. But for both of us being 24 years old, I mean, it's pretty good. We have 62,000 saved up in retirement here, which I would say that's fairly good for being 24 years old. Let's actually, before we jump forward, investments compared to last year. So this time last year I had 71,000. A lot of this money, the 63,000 in wealth management, or the from the wealth management person, um, I used to buy house number 4. So if you actually subtract 45,000 from that, it's like 26,000. So we went from 26,000 essentially in investments last year up to 62,000. So we piled in so much mental math here, almost 50,000, maybe 45,000 roughly, is what we put into investments just this year, which is, I mean, it's crazy. So unfortunately, we can't touch any of this money for a long, long time. But I think even if I stopped putting money in our 401ks now and then just coasted until the time I was 60 or 65, I'd have over $1 million in there just from having so much money in there being so young. But debts on basically house number 4 is the only one we have left. It's at $117,338. So put quite a bit of money towards it in December here. Compared to last year, I still had debt on the truck, which is I really like not having car payments. I feel like I probably will not go into debt on vehicles anymore. I'm fine with my truck. I like my truck. It's 3 years old now. It maybe has 8,000 miles on it, maybe 9,000 miles on it. Neither my wife or I drive a ton. My wife's car probably has 30,000, maybe 35,000 miles on it. So both of these are in really good shape. Her car is 5 years old. My truck's 3 years old. So I feel like we don't really need to buy any vehicles anytime soon. These are doing really, really well. Both of them are paid off. So I'm saying this now, I don't think going forward, unless there was like a weird circumstance that I would buy a vehicle again at this point, and go into debt on the vehicle. I like having no debt on vehicles. Even if it's, no money down, 0% interest, all that stuff, I still don't think I would do it. To me, it doesn't make sense to go into debt on something that goes down in value. Like you can see from December here to December here, I've lost $5,000 in 1 year just on my truck. So it's not a really that great of an investment. On the other hand, though, I am okay going into debt on houses. Um, so in the same time, I'm way into debt on house number four, like almost 200,000 is what it took to buy it. But I put 45,000 down, and then within 8 months, I've already made that $45,000 back. So that I'm okay with. I'm okay going into debt on something that increases in value, as long as it's not, if I had 270,000 in debt on house number four and I only had 10% or 10,000 equity, that would make me pretty nervous. But I think that 50 to 60% debt to equity ratio is about the sweet spot where you're pretty safe. If the market crashes, this is my opinion, of course. If the market crashes, like you still have some insulation there, you're not forced to sell. But on the other hand, you have to keep making your payments. If the market goes down, you lose your job, then yeah, then you're in trouble. So our mortgage is like 1,350 a month, 1,350 a month with everything included, taxes and insurance. And so we maybe spend another $1,000 between like food, groceries, all that other stuff, shopping. My wife and I don't really go on very many vacations. Maybe one every 2 or 3 years, and then we don't really go out to eat that often. We kind of are more homebodies, I guess, and happy just hanging out at the house, watching a movie, and working on the house. So yeah, we don't really spend a ton of money. So if I were to lose my job today, I would have probably 9 months, maybe 6 to 9 months worth of cash on hand. So yeah, so pretty good there. But last year I was at 165,000 in debt, and then I paid that down to 117,000 in debt. The current plan, I, I it's hard to explain here. Um, right now, the plan is to just keep paying down house number four. That may change in 2019. Right now, it's like in this moment in time, this is how my brain, thinks about, my net worth here. In this moment of time, that's my best option. I can guarantee myself like a 4.5% rate of return by just paying down house number four, which is the interest rate on house number four. If there is another opportunity for me out there, like maybe I could buy investments, more investments, and stop paying down house number four. But I'm already putting, $45,000 a year towards investments, and I'm getting like the most return on that. Like I'm saving on taxes because it's going into retirement accounts, and it's coming out pre-tax, and I'm not doing Roth. Um, so if that changes, like if I'm able to find a house that that gives me a 15% cash on cash return, something that I can manage, where stocks, like I have no say. I don't know if they're going to go down 10 or 20% or go up 10 or 20%. On a rental property, I can almost guarantee that I'm at least going to make 12 off my 15, unless I can't find a renter, which is usually never a problem for me. So I'd rather take those odds, and I may change this. Like if I find a house that maybe it's a 5 unit apartment building and maybe it's 200 or 300,000, I may refinance house number four depending on interest rates. If interest rates go up to 5 or 6%, um, I may not, I probably will not refinance it. But if interest rates are already a little bit lower than what they were when I closed on the house in April, so they're probably 3.5% right now. Um, I would be fine to refinance and pull some of the equity out and then put that into another house where I can, get two houses increasing in value and get some rental income coming in. But I need that 15% cash on cash return number in order to do that. So I really feel like I'm rambling on here, but I'm trying to explain, my thought process behind everything. So right now, this is the best thing that I can find is just guaranteeing this 4.5%. I don't have to pay taxes on this 4.5%, and if I refinance house number four, I also do not have to pay taxes on the money that I pull out in equity. So for now, I'm just going to keep cranking away at house number four's debt, and if something else comes up, I'll look at refinancing, or maybe I'll just turn down the faucet of paying this off and then just save up in cash for a few months and buy that next house. But cash position is 18,859, and then I still have the $1,000 in this rental checkings account. So ended out the year $291,003. So pretty good. I wanted to cross the $300,000 mark, but The way that the market was, I just, I couldn't get there. But I should be able to, maybe January or February of next year. I should be able to cross that threshold. So that'll be pretty exciting. But a year ago, I was at 174,000, and then now I'm at 291,000. So I've increased my net worth about $117,000 in 12 months. So I'm just below $10,000 a month in net worth increase. So at 24, I actually need to pick it up even a little bit more, believe it or not. So my goal is to save about $8,000 a month. I'm saving almost 10,000, but if I'm at $300,000 now and I have 6 years left, even if I save, I would just quite make it to a million by 30. But at some point, I'll have to start saving up even faster. So I'll maybe have to fix my income, or hopefully, get another raise at work or something like that. So in terms of my goal pace, I fell a little bit behind, 32,671 this month. Yeah, just a lot of that was the market going down in value. So, but still, I mean, pretty good. I'm 32,000 ahead. That will take me, like, if I made no money for 4 months, I think, then I would be right back to zero and still on pace to become a millionaire by 30. So I'm pretty good. I'm pretty far ahead at the moment, which is nice, but I'm not even 30% of the way there to millionaire status. But I kind of like to reflect back just a little bit. So there's a ton of months here. Started with $4,000 back in 2012. By the end of 2012, I was at $5,400, and then it looks like by the end of 2013, I was negative because I leased that dumb car, and then by 2014, I'm at $17,000. So I mean, just super slow. Like it's crazy. I mean, I would work for a whole year to save $18,000. It's just I can't believe that. And I also can't believe too, if I would have went back and not bought this car here, like how much further ahead that I would probably be. But 2015, I had a net worth of 85,000. So that was the first year where I was able to work a ton of overtime. So it did really, really good that year. And then looks like I crossed the $100,000 mark in April of 2016. So the first 100,000 took me almost 4 years, 3 years and 11 months to get $100,000 saved up. The second $100,000 came from April 2016 to, let's see here, looks like I got it right here in March 2018. So it took me not quite 2 years to save the second 100,000. So almost half the amount of time. And then from March 2018 until now, it's been not even a year, and like I should make the third 100,000 in less than a year, but like for sure, unless the market collapses or something in the next 3 months, I should be able to cross the $300,000 mark. So within each year, it just gets easier and easier. 4 years to make the first 100,000, 2 years to make the second 100,000, and now 1 year to make the third 100,000. And then hopefully after that, maybe it'll be 6 months to make that seems crazy, but 6 months to make the fourth 100,000, which would mean next year I would be close to $500,000 by December 2019. So that seems kind of unrealistic, but yeah, we'll see how things go. I think as I keep piling up money into this and these investment accounts, it'll get easier and easier. But yeah, I feel like I'm moving in the right direction for sure. So I'm almost 30% of the way there, which maybe in compounding interest world, that's more like 50 or 60% there, because it's easier and easier to save up more and more money the more money that you already have. But all right, I feel like I've rambled on long enough. If anybody has any questions, or if you even made it to this point, well, one, congratulations. If you have any questions, comments, or things you'd like to see me include in future videos, just comment them down below. I'm happy to include anything. The goal here is, to help other people, give them some, understanding of what it actually takes to, save money and increase your net worth. I'm not saying I'm doing everything perfectly, but just one case study, I suppose, on how things go. But be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Last month's and next month's videos are on your screen now. And as always, if you have any comments, questions, things that you'd like to see me include in future videos, just comment them down below. Thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you in 2019.